So, you want parental alienation, huh? I'll give you all kinds of parental alienation on so many levels, it's not even fucking funny. It's ridiculous. Let's see. You can start with my mom. Oh, you had her feeding BS into my sister's head. My sister was very young at the time that her and my dad separated. She was 4, I was 8. So, unfortunately, I was old enough that I knew somewhat of the truth, where my sister was too young to remember and was easily coerced. My sister now is starting to open her eyes to a lot of things, not only of what has happened from our mother that we dealt with growing up, but now also my mother involving my 2 oldest sons. How ironic is that my oldest son was ironically the same age that I was when he started going through this BS. Actually, yeah, his mother, his biological mother, let's talk about her for a minute. Let's see, she walked out on me and my boys 3 days after our oldest son's 3rd birthday. I found her 3 days later in bed with her paramour that was old enough to be both of our fathers, and who was my best friend, ironically, of almost 10 years. And I wound up, I'll be honest with you, people call me a snitch. I don't give a damn what people say. I'll do whatever I have to for the safety and security of my children. And if it means dropping a dime on a motherfucker, then I'll do it if it comes down to it. You know what? You're damn right. I went to DCF. I didn't go to the police. I didn't try to get the man in trouble. I just tried to protect my children. I went to DCF and I said, look, over my dead body, am I going to have my sons in the house with a fucking drug dealer by profession? I'm not going to have my 1 and 3-year-old sons running around a house where this man is known to have a ½ ounce at any given time just sitting on his coffee table. No way in hell. Especially not when my oldest son, at not even a year old, snuck into my mother's bedroom, the master bedroom, while she was sleeping, into her master bathroom, climbed up on the counter, opened a medicine cabinet, and we don't know to this day how the hell he got the cap off of the child-proof Tylenol, but he did. Anyways, yeah, my kids weren't going to be in that environment. I wasn't taking no chances. Even if he did try to take necessary precautions, I was taking what I felt was necessary precautions. So I put my foot down, went to DCF, told them what was going on. They orchestrated what they call a safety plan, and in black and white ink it boldly stated that my children could not be with their mother, her paramour, or at their place of residence until they could be investigated and it was deemed safe for the safety of my children. Well, she tried to retaliate and shows up at my house, and mind you, again, after she abandoned me and our children. By now she had been gone about 6 weeks, and she shows up with the Osceola County Sheriff's Department. Yes, I'm putting you bastards on blast. There was 4 of you that showed up that day, and it's ironic how when I go to the governor's office, he tells me he's going to mail me a form that I never get, and I've been trying for weeks now. Lady down at the sheriff's office has been trying to help me locate the documentation on this incident so that I can blow y'all's cover. I'm costing your job. Let me find out your names. I'm coming after you, because this is disgruntled dad right here, buddy. Anyways, the Osceola County Sheriff's Office tells me that in the lovely state of Florida, a father has jack shit as far as rights to his own child if he is not married to the mother. It does not matter if his name is on the birth certificate. That's bullshit. You know what? After all the blood, sweat, tears that I have poured into my sons, fuck you. And I tried to show them that safety plan. They wouldn't so much as look at it. They again told me that they would kidnap me or arrest me for kidnapping my own children if I did not comply with giving the children to their mother. Well, I had no choice. My answer, either way, she was going to get the kids, whether I was in jail or not. It was better off if I wasn't at that point. Anyways, she takes the children. Children wound up taken from her, lo and behold, at the exact place that she wasn't supposed to be with them, and was placed into state custody. Yeah, I was a single father that for 4.5 years and beat DCF, and I'm coming after you guys again. But this time it's not just for my boys, it's for all the children and families. Because DCF is destroying children and families is exactly what you people do and what you are. Yeah, that's why the social worker before last that was appointed to my case personally made a point to come to my house after she had dropped my boys off after one of our visits. She transported them back to the foster home and then drove back to my house just to tell me that she put officially her 2-week notice in and was resigning. But in her last 2 weeks, she was going to do everything in her power to return my boys and make sure they were reunified where they belonged. She flat out told me that she took the job because she wanted to help children and do the right thing. And that after seeing what me and my boys have gone through, it broke her heart, especially when she was transporting. The final straw was that day when she was transporting my boys. And for whatever reason, my best conclusion is they must have seen a truck that looked like Daddy's. I don't know. They looked out the window and they said, take us there now. We want to go to Daddy's house. Take us to Daddy. And it broke her heart. I've been through a hell of a lot. The first foster home that my kids were in was abusing them. And that bitch was a paralegal. Yeah, imagine the hell I went through with that. Hey, dude, is anybody familiar with Giardia? Do you know Giardia is a disease that you get transmitted from dog feces? Yeah, I learned that when my son was diagnosed with it. And they couldn't figure out why. However, come to find out, the foster mother had 2 dogs, both of which apparently the social worker wasn't aware of, but yet you do home visits. And in addition to this, where does the foster mother reserve the right to refuse the social worker access at any time requested to the residence and my children? Yeah, I ain't keeping my mouth shut no more, people. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper. Let's see. Amber, I wound up having a 3rd son. Gavin, Daddy loves you too, little buddy. Daddy knows you somewhere in West Virginia. Daddy knows that Amber and her mommy and Richard relocated to North Dakota. Daddy was trying to get hit by them for child support in both Florida and North Dakota at the same time. They got married. They then moved to West Virginia. That's all Daddy knew until September 25th. Daddy had a telephonic court hearing that he got about a week notice of when he got a call, some guy trying to track him down, saying he had a subpoena for Daddy. Come to find out that was legit. And yeah, they didn't even want to give me a court hearing. And I had explained to him, look, at the time I had no transportation. And how was I supposed to make it from Central Florida to West Virginia on such short notice with no time to prepare? I couldn't do it. That's not feasible, people. I had to pretty much beg the judge. And you know what? The judge threatened to hang up on me during the telephonic hearing just because I called Richard a scumbag. Imagine that. Oh, there's plenty of other choice words that I pretty graphic I could have used. Scumbag? Really? I didn't even say it aggressively or raise my tone of voice. Really? Scumbag. Okay. It shows that must have hit a close note with you there, buddy. Because that's kind of a scumbag thing for you to do on a judge's part. Anyways, during the court hearing, of course, the first thing they ask Amber is, like anybody, are you under the influence of any drugs or medications, yada, yada, yada. Amber says no. Typical response, even if somebody was, you'd expect them to say no under self-incrimination. You know, some kind of common sense there. But then the dumb dingbat turns around a couple minutes later, tells the judge she fucking smoked pot before she went to court. The judge asked her why. She goes, oh, well, I'm stressed. And of course, I'm sure you can already figure that didn't go over too well. So then she tries to pan it out by saying, oh, well, I really did it because my son gets stressed out. Yeah, the judge had probably the same response you're saying right about now. Okay, I got to hear this. Well, her response was that when she's stressed out, it makes our son stressed out. So she smokes pot so that neither one of them are stressed out. Okay, you should have just said that you didn't do anything. Well, judge ordered a drug test. Yeah, go figure. Well, it really caught me by surprise. I've never heard of a hair follicle test. Of course, at her expense, too. Yep. That's what happens when you open your mouth. Dingbat costs you. Well, she gave my son to her brother and his girlfriend, knowing that as soon as they were coming from Missouri to meet her in West Virginia to pick our son up, to take him back to West Virginia, and the whole time she knew that as soon as they got back, they were breaking up. So now you got this girl who's of no relation to you, I, or our child, raising our son. You know, that's real fucking bright. Yeah, didn't go over too well with the judge, neither. One thing I am not happy with the judge is that the judge awarded custody to her ex-husband. Yes, that's right, you heard that right. They got divorced while they were in West Virginia. Apparently she cheated on him. Go figure, this country girl knows everything there is to know about equine. I'll put money on that. Comes from mass property up in Missouri. Is a country girl who used to jam out to David Allan Coe, if anybody knows who that is. I'm just going to leave that at that. And she cheated on him with a black guy. That's kind of funny. Yep, she ran off with, just like the song she used to listen to. And he hung her high and dry because in West Virginia, adultery and bigamy are recognized. It's a common law or commonwealth state. It means they adhere to their own set of rules. Yeah, that's bullshit. What happened to the Constitution there, buddy? The United States Constitution. Okay? So now you're going to override that with your own set of rules. Okay. Anyways, they recognize bigamy and adultery. So she couldn't get half from the divorce. She can't get alimony. She can't get child support because they had a child together and he took that child. Well, what I'm not happy with is the fact that the judge awarded him our son. And the judge's response to that was because in the past almost 3.5 years now, I've had no contact with my son, which is how my fault. Because all I knew was that your mother and Richard relocated to North Dakota. And I only know that because I got a child support notice from them. The only reason why I know about West Virginia is because when I was working for Brandon, Richard's son, Richard tried calling Brandon and telling him to pick him over me and to fire me. I was staying right in your son's kitchen. I was living in his house at the time that you were talking to him. I was standing there while he was on the phone with you, Richard. Ha, nice move. I know that pissed you off when it didn't work. Yeah, it didn't work out like it did. You set me up, sent me to prison, you bastard. That's all right. Everything in time, light will be brought into the darkness. That's all I'm going to say. Let this be one of those warning signs to those of you. So, and going on that prison note there, it was ordered, because like I said, I fought and was a single father, got custody of my 2 kids, fought 4.5 years, woohoo, got my boys. Yeah, you want to know what their final BS reason for not wanting to give my kids back? I didn't have a W-2 job. I was an independent contractor, and they couldn't monitor my income, number one. And number two, they know that if I wanted to be dishonest, I could cheat on the numbers. I mean, let's be honest here. If I really wanted to, I put the truth out there anyways. They didn't like that. But what got them off guard was when I brought my 1099 in the courtroom. Yep, that showed that not only was I working, but now you can't get me for tax evasion. Huh. And how'd you like it when that judge turned to you and said, do you have any other reason for not giving this man his children? But you didn't know by his ruling when he told you to make sure that daycare, school, and other necessary elements were in effect and for you to assist me with those matters prior to the children being brought back into the home. But no, you just dump them in my lap and walk away, turn your backs on me. Yep. Okay, DCF. Okay. Just like the whole time during the court, DCF was trying to make the judge make the ruling because... And then the judge was saying, no, you, social worker, that's your job. It's because you shifted blame back and forth because nobody wants to be the responsible party because you know how corrupt this shit is. You know what? It's time for it to end. It's time for reform. Signing off for now. Disgruntled Dad.